Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunday night. I know this is an impromptu live stream, but I wanted to get out there and sort of share some things with you and to let you guys share some things with me too about the new beta version 3.02. There have been some questions about some things, and I wanted to try to clear the air on some of those things too. As you know, we're hearing all kinds of things on YouTube, but we don't go there because we don't punch low. We're just not that kind of channel, and we try to do things on the up and up and the things the right way. And of course, that's just the way some people are. But anyway, um, getting back to version 3.02, we got a chance to take this out and hunt with it yesterday. So I had NC Relic Hunter with me. I had Mental Metal with me. They both saw me using this machine with the settings that I showed earlier today. But there are some things that are really interesting about this beta version. And like I said in the beginning of my video, guys, and you guys know this, you know, I said that it's a beta version. There's a lot of things that can change with a beta version. And I'm not telling anybody that, hey, this is the program you should be using. Like, you know, we know. But anyway, um, I'm not telling anybody, hey, these are the final settings that you need to be running with this machine. Now, I did run discrimination at 4.0 yesterday. I did run reactivity of 3. I did run the silencer at -1 on the site that you guys have seen me hunting over and over and over again. And guess what? We had a fantastic day yesterday. Another user that I gave these settings to went out to another place that's been hit hard over the last 3 years, running the same settings that I just told to you. And he dug what looks to be a Confederate officer's button today, running those settings. Now, again, you use what you want to use. Okay. I'm not telling everyone this is what you need to be running. That's not what all this is about. I could run that machine at 4.0 discrimination. I could also run that machine with a -1 silencer. Now, I have a very trained ear and I can hear iron and I can recognize iron. And I think that's something that, some of you may struggle with. But there was one thing though that I found to be very interesting in all of this, and this is why I wanted to do the live stream, and that is the FE target ID. So I'm interested if anybody on here has tried to do the adjustments on the FE target ID, because when you turn it off and you turn it on, it does have an impact on the machine. So that's something that I just don't know at this point. It's going to be something that I have to do a lot more testing with. And so, you're just going to have to stay tuned and see how that works out. I'm not real sure why it's doing some of the things that it's doing. But again, guys, it's a beta version of this software. It's not meant to be the final version. And like I said on the live stream the other night, XP is going to come out with updates. They're going to come out with all sorts of things to enhance and improve. In fact, I've already sent them some things that I told them to look at, and we'll see what happens there. So yeah, and there may be some settings that do not change at all. So but I do want feedback from you guys because I really feel like that's important. You guys know we're a learning channel. I've never claimed to be a tester. I've never claimed to be a professional. I just go out and show what I see and go out and hunt. And that's what I did yesterday. And that's what I showed you guys today. I could hit that target that you saw, which was a mercury dime elevated above a 2-inch nail. Now, one thing too that I want to say is that is a very, very, very hard test. Okay. Not many machines will pass that test, and which I said in the video. And 2 inches elevated that's pretty hard. But what I did find out was that when you turn the target ID or the Ferris target ID off, Here's what I saw. So when I turn it off, I can run the discrimination down to 5.3. So again, you guys are getting this stuff real time from me, and it's going to be all over the place. I'm just saying, if you want to try that, try that. It did work for me. Now, I'm a seasoned detectorist. You guys know that. You see me hunt. I go out and I test exactly what I see. And then I go out and I hunt with it and I show what I see in those hunts. And that's all I can tell you. You know, I found a ton of stuff. Finds don't mean everything, but I found a ton of stuff on a site that had been hammered very, very hard. So that's just what I wanted to make sure you guys understood. There's a lot of great content that I've seen coming from other YouTubers. My buddy Digging Dude is on here right now. He's got a great video showing some things that he saw with 3.02. CZ Digger, who's on here right now. CZ Digger did a great video. Go check out his video. And again, we're all hunting on different sites. We're hunting in different types of soil. We're hunting in all kinds of things. And it's going to be different wherever you go. My soil is very mild too, to go along with it. So, you know, if you hunt in mineralized soil, you might have to make a lot of adjustments to this. And again, this is a beta version. What you see could change. What I am running is not the end all to be all, like some people want to throw on me, but that's not the case. And you guys know that for sure. So I wanted to make sure that I got that out there, because I know there's another live stream going on right now, but that's okay, because again, they can run whatever they want to run. This is a beta version of a software. So just keep those things in mind. So any questions, and anybody want to leave some comments and tell me what you guys have seen. If you have run the 3.02, you know, just let me know. CZ Digger's exactly right. Your soul will force you to make tweaks. One thing I'm going to tell you, and you guys know that I do this too. Whenever I test something, I take it out and hunt in the field. There are some YouTubers on here that they show these tests and they never show you a hunt. And I have a hard time with that, but that's them. That's their channel. They can do whatever in the heck they want to. I take it out and I apply anything that I show or I use. I test it. I take it out to the field, see what it does. That's how I learn. That's how we all should be learning. Take it out, test it, use your own programs, use your own mind. You don't need anybody to tell you what settings, what program you need to run. You need to figure that out. And your soul is different from my soul. Your situation may be totally different of where you're hunting. What you're looking for could be totally different than the things that I hunt too as well. So keep all those things in mind, and just remember, hey, we're here to have fun. We're not here to attack or criticize someone or try to make someone look bad or whatever it may be. I'm here to have fun. So again, I try to keep it real. This is me keeping it real. I'm just telling you, that's what I saw. I've hunted with it. It worked fine. And if you want to run 4.0 discrimination, give it a shot. But again, the one thing I really want to point out is that target ID, that iron target ID, the FETID. And if you don't know where that's at, go to your options menu down in the bottom left-hand corner and click on settings, and then go to the FE target ID setting. And you can turn it on or you can turn it off. See what you guys see when you turn that setting on and off. And just let me know. I'll be glad to, share that information with XP as well. So let's take a couple of questions. Detect Dig Smile says, when I detect with the Deus 2, I might change programs 3 or 4 times. We all do that. That's just part of learning. You might change your discrimination, you might change your reactivity, you might change any of that kind of stuff. So, go do the things that you want to do and enjoy your hunt. I mean, that's what I'm going to tell you. Metal Detect Northwestern Wisconsin says, I turned off Iron TID, makes more solid numbers. Well, and I saw that, but But if you run what I've seen on some other channels and you do a -3 and you run that, or you run any of those other things that are being thrown out there, then what you're going to see is you're going to see some iron falsing running that -3. So I don't know. It's just, and again, it's a beta version. We're all learning as we go. This is not meant to be the final version, and there's going to be some changes. I've sent some of these things to directly to XP, so they've heard from me about some of these things and what I was seeing. Now, why some of these things are reacting the way that they are, I mean, I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I'm not, again, not a professional. I don't claim to be, never said I was. I'm just a guy with a metal detector having fun. So, again, I don't know. But it does give a solid number on those dimes and all sorts of things. But it also gives a solid number on iron. At 82 will come in when you turn off the target ID. So I don't know. Again, that's all I can tell you. I'm not going to claim to be perfect, and I make mistakes just like anybody else. Brian Thomas says, falsing on the beach, guys, I'm having some trouble and I can't seem to overcome. Any tips for this? Well, Brian, I haven't taken it out on the beach yet because, again, we're sort of experimenting. I will have that HF2 coil and I will be running it. And I'll tell you guys what I'm seeing, and that's all I can do. I'm just going to show you what I see. If it's working, it's working. If it works for me, that's great. If you want to try it, try it. Just be you. Enjoy the machine. Enjoy the detecting. Don't get so consumed by all this other nonsense, for sure. Don't tread on me says, yeah, I took version out today on an abandoned Victorian farm site. The only change I made was using -3 silencer. It was awesome. So he ran the -3 silencer and had good luck. Way more stable. The version 2, less chatter, cleaner audio, a lot of 9 fares. So he got away with running -3. Don't tread on me. I'm real interested. Did you adjust your discrimination? That'd be the one thing. Let's see here. I would look at the not the triple score for a beginner. That's from Digging Daryl. He was telling that to John McVie. Detect Dig Smile says, I'm going to get the HF2 coil also. Good, Detect Dig Smile. Brian Thomas says, I'll give that a try. Very good. Looking forward to an HF coil video from the teach. Thank you so much, CZ Digger. I try, guys. And again, I'll admit I'm not perfect and I make mistakes. And what I said today was exactly what I saw. And yeah, that's it. That's all I can tell you. Go look at the video. I took the nail away, and that's the other thing. I showed every single part of that just so there wouldn't be any controversy. Naturally, there's going to be some controversy. But again, it's a beta version. Try it if you like it. See if it works for you. If you don't like it, then it's no harm, no foul. Go try another discrimination setting. What I did find out though was when I left it at 6.8, I was not able to hit that target at all. And that's 2 inches elevated, which is a tough target. I mean, I'm just going to admit that. He ran at factory discrimination. Okay. At 6.8. Okay, good. All right. Well, again, I just, that's a tough test that I was showing, and 6.8 won't hit that target. That's just what I've seen so far. Yeah, he said you full-tone guys are going to love it. Well, I'm actually running pitch right now, don't tread on me, which is what I sort of cut my teeth with, pitch and fast. But I've seen some great things out of a lot of the other programs that I wasn't seeing with 2.0. And that's the thing that's got me real excited about this update too, is we are seeing some great changes in some of those other programs, and they're becoming definitely more usable in a lot of different situations, which I knew that they would. I knew XP was not just going to sit on their laurels and just let it be. So yeah, those other programs are definitely coming along very, very nice. And we'll see what happens. But again, all of this could change, guys. Just be ready, because this update could come anytime. It could come fast and furious. And I know they're going to make changes. How much changes they make, I do not know at this point. You guys know I talked with Philippe the other night. I met with Sylvan, who's the head engineer. So we're in talks. We email each other a good bit, and those guys have been awesome to me, and I appreciated them coming on the other night and explaining a lot of this stuff. And again, the information that you guys saw today is the same information that XP is going to see to try to make some tweaks and adjustments as we move forward. So who knows what the next update will look like. We may be back to running a higher discrimination. We may be back to running all sorts of other things. So, who knows? I just don't know at this point. I'm very excited about the HF2 coil, and you guys know that coil is coming really, really soon. I will have that in my hands as well. So you guys know that as soon as I get it, I'm going to start, testing it. I'm going to take it and run it out in the field. And I'm probably going to see something different than some of you. And there's nothing wrong with that, just to let you know. We all hunt the way we want to hunt. Keep that in mind and just go out and have a good time. That's what it's all about. So again, use the settings that you think are going to work for your site. Set your machine up the way you want to. If you want to use what I'm using, that's fine. If you don't want to use what I'm using, that's fine too. I don't mind. You don't hurt my feelings at all. I just tell you what I'm using, just if you want to use it as some sort of baseline or guide for you in case you want to try something. It could work, it might not work, but I'll be the first to admit that for sure. So let's look at a couple of questions. CZ Digger says the behavior was different but welcome. Very good, CZ. So did you find it to be more chattery or more sparky running it the way that you were running it, or was it running pretty stable, calm? That would be interesting to see too. And guys, again, I can tell the difference in iron, even running at 4.0, and I can tell a difference in the iron. And some people might not be able to, and that's another thing too. When I go to turn, and I will say this, I do turn on objects. I also will wiggle back and do the old wiggle method, which still works. You will notice in the video, I really said that you will see a good bit of falsing when you get to the front of that coil, regardless of whatever you're in. It tends to false towards the front more so than in the back of the coil. And I was using the 9-inch on a lot of those tests. So, you'll see all kinds of things that are a little bit different. And we're going to try to get Michael to come in here, and we're going to send him a link so maybe he can join in and talk with us too. All right. Brian Thomas says, hey, in the end, it's up to all of us to learn the machine. Right. Exactly. I can sit here and tell you all the settings you want to learn. I can show you all the things that you want to know about the machine, but ultimately it comes down to you and what you want to use. Don't be a sheep, be your own person, go do your own thing. You can watch all the test videos you want, but in the ultimate scheme of things, it comes down to you going out in the field, using that machine and running it the way that you feel is the best way to run it. Read your instruction manual, look at what things have worked for you in the past. If you're brand new, start with the basic programs and then work your way into more complex settings. That's my tip of the week. We didn't have Michael's tip of the week the other day. So that is my tip of the week. Start with the basics if you're new to this machine and run it the way that you want to run it. Learn those basic programs and then figure out what settings you want to tweak on this machine. Again, it's a beta version that we have right now, and we'll see what else happens with it. Professor, make us short on those settings. I will, but I'm getting crucified right now for showing 4.0 discrimination. And, I 4.0 discrimination worked for me. It might not work for you. That's all I can tell you guys. I mean, I wish I could tell you something else, but it did work for me. And Brian Thomas says that was a great show Friday night. Yeah, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to help people out, educate, show machines, talk, have fun. That's what our channel is about, and nothing more, nothing less. We just have a good time. So thanks each and every one of you for joining in. It's just great that we can come together and get information on it. Right. And again, I'm giving you information. It's just what I'm seeing. That's what I keep trying to come across with. And I did run that program the other day. So look here, we got my main man, Mr. NC Relic Hunter himself is in the house. Michael, what's going on, buddy?
How you doing this evening?
All right. Well, I'm catching a little bit of flack for showing 4.0 discrimination, but hey, it's all good. You saw me use it. So tell the folks what you saw with me yesterday.
I mean, we've hunted this spot a lot, and he couldn't go 3 or 4 foot without digging another bud. I mean, it was impressive. It really was. And like I said, his settings, I know he was running 4.0 in the for disc, and was -1 silencer, right? Brian?
Mm-hmm.
Fast and pitch. And it's I don't remember you digging any iron. Well, I mean, you heard iron, but you could tell it was iron for sure.
Right. And I dug it whenever I had sort of a questionable signal, when I thought it was mixed. And pretty much most of those targets did turn out to be iron.
Right.
And I sort of stole your spotlight. I gave the tip of the week. My tip of the week was, if you're new to this machine, run the general programs first, the default programs, and then work your way into the more complex settings. So that was my tip of the week. How about that, Michael? Was that a good one?
Yes, that's a good one. And like you said, I'm guessing they're probably going to have another update before this coil is released. Maybe next week. Who knows? But
right,
it's going to change, I'm sure.
Right, and again, I think a lot of people on here realize that, and that's why they follow us, because they know that we're only showing what we're seeing, and that's just the way it is. But again, don't tread on me's comment. He said this thing is an embryo. We know nothing yet. That's right. We don't. And don't take everything I say as the word, because again, all of that could change. And I said that in the video. So again, some people want to take it a different way, then so be it. It's okay. Bells.
Yeah, I mean, me and Brian, we're looking at the update. I've been looking at it today. He's been looking at it. We've been trying some things, adjusting to see what the best settings are. But so far, what he's ran has done really well. Yesterday.
Oh yeah. Hey, Drummond Detect, glad to have you in here. He's got a little hand waving going on. Bubba Smith said, "Don't let others bring you down. If it works, you use it. You be you, and I can be me." That's right. That's what I keep trying to tell everybody. Go be yourselves. Go have fun with the machine. Run the machine how you want to run it. You can use what I'm using if you like it. If you don't like it, then don't use it. I can tell you that I did not dig. I dug some iron, but the only reason why I dug the iron was because I wanted to dig the iron. Right. Everything else that I dug was pure. And that's all I can tell you at this point on a hunt. And again, we've tested all of that too. Brian Thomas says, "Michael, you're here. Good to have you." Yeah, they're glad to have you on here. And he says, "Hey, no flack here if it works." Right. If it works for you, then use it. And I'm the first one to say that too. If it works for you, go out, run that program, have fun with it, enjoy what you do, and don't listen to anybody else. I mean, go do your thing. Let's see here. CZ Ziegler, my next hunt, I'll be working on try that, because that was the one thing that I found to be really interesting, is turning that target ID on and turning it off. Now, I will say this, by default, they have that target ID already checked.
Right.
So the only way that you're going to see those numbers is by unchecking it, taking it off. But the other thing that I noticed is my iron showed up those same exact numbers. with it turned off. I got an 82. So
Yeah.
CZ Digger, you might be the guy for this. Go try that and see if you're seeing that iron ringing in at an 82, just like you would see with a dime or anything else. And again, let me know your feedback because, guys, I can share this directly with XP and we can figure it out together as a group. I think we have the strongest community out there on YouTube because all of you are so knowledgeable in what you do and running this machine as well as running all the other machines. And you guys are awesome to deal with. And that's why I love this group for sure. Detective Smile says, most times when I dig iron, there's still a good target in the hole. That's so true. You know, I can't tell you how many times I dig and it happened yesterday too. I would dig a target and there would be 2 or 3 nails in there with that target. And the AS2 was able to pick through it. It's a great machine. I think the software is great with what they've done. And I look forward to seeing all of the great improvements that we're going to see with not only the software, but also with this HF2 coil, because the early reports from some of the guys that do have this coil, and I've talked to them personally, is that it is phenomenal in separation. And for us, that's a win-win. I mean, we are winning because they are making a high quality product. And that's what's got me so fired up about it. That's why I wanted to make these videos that I made today. The other thing that I did today, if you guys haven't checked this out, so I tested to see where the breaking point was for a nail before I could get it to false completely, swinging over it. And it ended up being around 3.5 and with the target ID turned on. So that was something that was really interesting. What do you think about that, Mike?
I don't know. It's something we're going to have to test around with. Drummond Detect said he ran it in the iron infested yard and he got a good bit of falsing, and he did pull a big light bulb housing. He said he's hit that yard hundreds of times. I was just wondering what settings were you running on that?
Yeah, Drummond Detect. I'll be glad to know that. So another person that has run the settings that I used from yesterday is Mike Coil, which is the guy from LMS Metal Detecting. He ran it, and he had one of the best days he's ever had on the site.
He did.
Running the settings, and Michael's seen the pictures. One of the best days that he's ever had running those settings. But again, we're pretty experienced detectorists. We can sometimes tell the difference in that iron if we turn on it, or if we do the wiggle method, whatever works for you. Again, try that, and it worked, and it worked for me too. And Mike had a phenomenal day. That eagle button that he dug, I believe, Michael, that looked like
it's a droop wing staff officer's button.
Yeah, it was a Confederate staff officer's button.
Right.
That is the creme de la creme, and he dug it with our settings that I gave to him today. And fines aren't everything. Let me state that too. But to him to walk back into this site that's been hunted for 3 years, running that program that I gave him and finding the amount of stuff that he found, he was blown away by it. He really was. And he even sent me a text. He said, man, those settings you gave me worked unbelievable. And I appreciated Mike doing that. DCM is on here. He says, hey guys, hey DCM, glad to have you with us tonight. Yeah, I'm excited. You got to be excited, beta version, final version, whatever it may be. We got a lot of great things coming from XP. And one thing I do want to say too, real quick, is congratulations to Michael. Michael had a fantastic find yesterday too. Now he was not using the Deus 2, but we'll let him slide on that. He was running the Manicore, and he dug a Connecticut Colonial Copper, running our settings. Right, Michael?
That's right. It was a big surprise.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. But I won't tell how he really dug it, because he came over and he jumped in front of me.
No, he's telling us.
He saw me digging all these targets, and he was going like, man, I got to get over there and find out what he's doing. And guys, I'm gonna tell on him because he wanted to go back to his car and get he wanted to get the Deus too. And I
Well,
said,
here's the thing: I hadn't updated yet, so I mean, I really did want to. What we were going to do, we were going to compare signals between the update and 2.0, and that's the reason I wanted to get it, but because I hadn't updated. Well, I updated it today, but I hadn't updated it yesterday when we were hunting. So,
oh yeah, we had a ball and we had Mental Metal with us. So this video is coming. Mental Metal's going to have one. I'm going to have one. And yeah, it's going to be. It was a great time. We had a fantastic time being together, and we just enjoyed it. It was a short hunt because unfortunately I had a funeral to go to, and we hunted for what, Michael, about 3.5, 4 hours, 4 hours, maybe? Yeah, around 4 hours, and it was good. Bubba Smith says, I think they call it a beta version because XP is wanting our. That's exactly right.
yeah.
Well, my feedback is going to be different than your feedback because, again, I'm experienced with this machine. Running 4.0 discrimination did not bother me at all. And some of you may find it might not bother you either if you've been using this machine for a while. Hey, Detect Meister, glad to have you in here all the way from Ireland. He's up there late watching us. This was sort of an impromptu because I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that I was not trying to push these settings that I said on anybody. I was just telling you guys this is what I ran, and I had success with it. That was all it was, and it's fine. I love doing what I do. I love hunting. I love metal detecting. I love you guys. You guys are awesome, and I don't let that kind of stuff bother me. Ricky Bennett says, my tip of the week when updating, make sure your devices are charged. Oh my gosh, Ricky, you didn't die during the update, did you? He says, sharing for a friend. Oh no. Yeah, that would not be good. Let's see here. Detective Smile says, I need to get going, kids in bed. Oh, I appreciate it, Detective Smile. Look, if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. And again, we hope to have the HF2 video coming really, really soon. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining us tonight too. Michael, what else do you think? Michael's installed the update too. Is there anything else that you saw that you might want to tell some people that they could maybe try or at least look at whenever
We
they're
talked about the target ID.
Yeah, tell them a little.
Target iron ID, right?
Right. I like what Drum and Detect says. Yeah, it's going to take hours of hunting and tweaking, and it will. And again, I'm going to say this too. I tested these things, and this is generally why I don't show tests, because people take them as the final word on a lot of things. But the final word to me really comes out in the field when you can actually take those tests and apply it and show everybody. That's when you really get the most out of the test. Not just showing an air test, because sometimes those air tests can be wrong. And I'm going to say this too, air tests can be manipulated to show whatever you want it to show and make you believe whatever you want to believe. So that's another reason why air testing it's okay. I do it because it does help me sort of get a baseline to maybe go out and tweak and run and test, and sometimes it works out great and it's doing exactly what I saw on those air tests. But I have had instances where it didn't do what we saw on those air tests. And again, all situations are different. All the variables are different. Soil conditions, all of those things can all play a part on a site, and they can change everything that you thought that you knew about that machine based on a test that you did. It can change dramatically depending on the site that you're on. And so that's just where I am at on that as well. Let's see. Corey Conkle says, I noticed, right. And I need to say this too, Michael, and I've been meaning to do this. I am using Steve's rods on my Deus 2. I love that shaft. I've got the full XP Deus 2 set up. So if you're interested, go check Steve out. That is an awesome shaft to use. We enjoy swinging it, and I don't think I'm taking it off, Michael. I really love that shaft. And Michael's seen me using it. Mental Metal's using it too. So we both had our Steve's rods out there. Michael said
He said he was going to try to work on a way to use that new coil
right
with the shafts.
Right. Right. And Brian Thomas says, I'm really hoping that Steve can come up with a way to implement the battery into his stem. He told us he was going to try when he was on the show. Yes. And that's what Michael just mentioned. Digging Dude says, my complete Steve's rods for XP is coming tomorrow. Yes.
They're nice.
Yes. You'll love it, Digging Dude. They are awesome. And I've enjoyed using my Steve's rods full setup for the XP Deus 2. And I do have two XP Deus 2 machines. So I guess I'll put the new coil on the older machine and run it with that. And then I'll keep one machine with my Steve's rods until Steve comes up with something. But really looking forward to using it as well. Corey Kunkel says, I love the Steve's rod stem. I do too. CZ Digger says, I use Steve's rod shaft with 11-inch permanent on there. Love it. Love it. So yeah, we got a lot. So Michael, tell them a little bit more about the target ID. I know you started and I sort of cut you off.
Well, from what I saw today, if you ran it, -1, -2, -3, you were getting a good tone, but you were getting a 3 or 4 target ID. If you cut it off, you would get that. I had a dime. I was getting an 81 coming in.
Right. So did you swing it over iron too, like I did, and you saw it showing an 82 with the iron as well?
I did, but that was at -3.
That was at the -3 silencer, and
Yeah.
let me remind everybody there was a video that came out early that said, look at this test with a -3, and the dime was never removed from that test.
Right, and I removed the dime, and it's falsing on the nails, and it's giving a good target ID. So it's something to think about and keep an eye out. I mean, you don't want to be running something, that's gonna. I mean, there's no way to avoid digging falsing like that. Falsing iron. I mean, it just because you got a good ID and a tone. So
right. Well, and Michael, like you and I have talked about this quite frequently, and I debated on whether I should put a video up at all, because it is a beta version. But then I decided I would put the beta version up there since we had a good day with it yesterday, and it sort of seemed like it was running stable enough for me to actually post.
I was using 4DS 4.0.
You were using 4.0?
Right.
Right. So, and again, guys, that is very aggressive. Okay. Michael, I just told the audience, I don't know if you were on here when I said this, but I found that I could run the discrimination really down to about 5.3 with that target ID off before it started falsing. Now, with the target ID on, it seemed like I could run it lower. So that's where I'm confused at this point as to what it's actually doing. And so I don't know, but I do want everyone on here that has run 3.02. I would like for you to share your feedback with me, and let me know if you run it at 4.0. Let me know what you see. If you run it at 5.3, let me know what you see. If you run it at with the target ID on and the target ID off, let me know what you see, because that's how we make this machine even better. Is by telling each other and doing these things. And, again, I ran it at 4.0. I had no problem. Michael was with me, saw me. I didn't hardly dig any iron. Of course, again, I turned and made sure that I could tell that was a piece of iron, which that iron has sort of a forced sound to it in a lot of cases. But in a lot of cases, too, even running at 4.0, the Deus 2, even running at that 4.0 would definitely start to break on some of those pieces of iron and let me know, hey, that's wrong. I dug a bunch of targets too that I was trying to test that were showing 04, but also would show a 72, and then I'd say 98% of them turned out to be iron. from what I saw. Yes.
You know, and don't tread on me. Well, you're about to read it. He said
Right.
he's never altered the factory discrimination, but I think it's a learning curve for XP too. And like I said, Brian's been talking with them, and you know that may not be the final factory discrimination. What's on that beta right now, and they may end up adjusting that.
Yeah, who knows? They may, hey, Michael, they might even put the default at 4.0. Then what?
I mean, we don't know.
They might say, well, he's right. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. But they may decide, hey, we're going to lower it down from 6.8. And I don't know. You know, I can't answer that question. Digging Dude says, I couldn't get it defaults on nails with my settings based on sensitive full tones at a disk of 6.8. In my video, I tried 4.0 disc on sensitive full tones, still wasn't false on the nail off camera. So there you go.
I will tell you, you know, and I tried it with sensitive full tones now, and to me, fast, sensitive, general,
right.
deep high conductor seem to do better on that separation test with your upper kilohertz set to 40.
Right. Yeah. So. And we were running that max frequency at 40. So you got to feel like that when this next update comes, you know, and we get the HF2 coil, I've heard that the separation is phenomenal with the HF2 versus the standard coil. So that's going to be real interesting. Yeah. And Bubba Smith is exactly right. My nails may be different. I'm not saying that anybody's, I definitely would never say this, that anybody's not telling the truth. I believe everybody is telling the truth. I just believe that there's certain situations and circumstances that might make some of these tests come out a little bit different than others. And it could be the nails. It really could. It could be that we've got EMI interference in some areas that we don't have in some other areas. It could be all kinds of things. What you want to say, Michael?
Well, I was going to say Drummond to Tex said he was getting burned on big iron at 4.0 within. What's the silencer you were running? We were running -1. If you run -3, yeah, you're gonna get burned.
Yeah, and I could have dug some of those big iron targets, but you can just tell, Michael. I mean, I could just tell that some of that was big iron.
Yeah, a lot of it you're gonna be. I mean, dig regardless, you know.
Right. Yeah. The one thing that I did dig, and Michael saw me dig this. This was the first piece of iron that I dug, and it was a large bolt. And tell them what it looked like, Michael.
Well, it was big. You know, these multi-frequency machines, if it's got threads on it like a bolt, it love that. You know, those machines love any of the Manicore, the Deus too. Vortex, for some reason they like the threaded bolt, you know.
Yeah.
So
Dirt Devil's on here. Dirt Devil, have you tried running your have you run the beta program yet on your Deus 2? I know he's excited because I believe he just got a Manicore, Michael, and I know he's been having a ball with that machine, and I love seeing his videos with it as well. But he's also a very strong Deus 2 user, so that's why I'm asking him as well. Let's see here, Michael. We got a couple of Digging Daryl says how my son graduated from. Oh, congratulations, Daryl. I'm going to put his education to test. His test is to make the new HA for Lord. There you go. We're gonna have to get him on that, Digging Daryl. We got to get that thing up and running for this new HF Deus 2 coil. So I think it's going to be great. Let's see. Don't Tread on Me says, from what I saw today, we just got a lot more separation with just the software alone. That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what I'm seeing. And regardless of the noise that, you know, is being out there right now, I'm just as excited as ever to run the machine, run the HF2 coil, run this new software, and see all the great improvements that are going to happen with that machine as well.
You know, whether you want to get the HF2 coil or not, this update is pretty exciting from what we've seen. You know, if you got a Deus 2, you know.
Right. We got the Key Date Kid from Excalibur Shovels. Glad to have you in here, Key Date Kid. we like the Excalibur shovel, don't we, Michael?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so appreciate him coming on. Go check out Casey at Excalibur Shovels. Makes a very fine product. You definitely want to check him out. He can get you hooked up to with a great, great digging shovel for sure. Green Mountain 64 says XP is on the right track, giving us more silencer variability. General seems better. Maybe starting program instead of sensitive full tones. Right.
It does seem a lot better. Yeah.
And that's true. And that's what this whole show is about, you know, because I was getting criticized about showing 4.0 discrimination. But again, you can use whatever program you feel suits your needs the best. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what any other YouTuber says. You're the one who has to decide on those settings, how you're going to run it, and so on. So again, don't be a sheep. That's my other tip of the week. Don't be a sheep.
Right.
Right. And if you got a question, if I can answer it, I'll answer it. I'll answer it to the best of what I know. I don't know everything. I do have a college education. I do teach college history. I am a fairly smart dude, or I consider myself to be a fairly smart dude. And I enjoy doing what I do. So,
I mean, what we're saying is just a starting off point to maybe help some people get started. If you see a better way to adjust it one way or another, let us know.
Yeah. I like Gene Gilstrap's comment. Don't be a sheep and get sheared. That's right. I love it. I love it. Detect Meister's exactly right. I can run all the air tests you guys want. And it might not mean a hill of beans. I hate to tell you that, but it's the truth. Is that not true, Michael?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I can run all the air tests you want. Some of it helps. I'm not gonna sit here and say they don't help, because they are a good baseline for some things. But sometimes when you go to certain areas, what you saw on those air tests aren't necessarily the same thing that you're gonna find when you go put it out in the field. So I appreciate that. CZ Digger says, I really like General. So got to work on deep high conductor, though. Did not care for it with the same settings I had from General. And, you know, I found deep high conductor to be fairly decent. Michael tried it today. But again, I'm going to play around with deep high conductor as well. Drummond Detect says, can't wait till fall now when the crops come off. That's so true. I don't think Calabash is coming back on the show, Silver Hunter. I hate to say that. And, you know, he was a good friend of mine, but he just, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what he's up to, but I wish him the best. And I hope whatever he's doing with his settings, that it works for him. I'm just telling you what I saw. So yeah, there you go. Anyone know if the update is an improvement with no settings changes on the programs? If so, which programs?
I think there's improvement in general. I think there's improvement.
Yeah, I think we saw improvements across the board.
Right.
I really do. I really think that we saw improvements across the board. Right. And Digging Dude says, yeah, sheep don't be. I like that. Yeah, a year from now we'll be all laughing at our beginnings. Right. And I'm probably going to be laughing at that 4.0 discrimination. And if I am, but I'm telling you, it did work for me. So, yeah, for whatever that's worth. Greg Wick says, I always dig the first 10 to 15 targets to see what the dirt and the machine is telling me. Right. You know, and here's the thing. If I would have gone out there yesterday, and Michael knows this, and I would have started digging piece of iron after iron after iron, I would have said, well, this doesn't work. But that's not what happened. Did it, Michael?
That's not. I mean, it really surprised me. He was just digging target after target.
Right. I was seeing and hearing more targets than what I thought I would actually see. And I was blown away by it. I really did. Right. Digging Daryl's right. The only sheep is to our Lord. You're right. You're exactly right. Very good, Daryl. I'm seeing a noticeable difference on deeper targets with light iron mixed in 10 inches clad dime with the silencer at 2 sounds horrible. Silencer -1 and -2. That dime screaming dig me.
Yeah,
There
that's
you go.
about where we're at. Yeah.
Right, and that's where we're at too, Dirt Devil Detecting. I believe you can run that silencer. I mean, I believe that 0 and -1 are, you're pushing it to the limit. Now, I'm not going to lie about that. You're pushing it to the limit if you get down below that 0. But if you want more unmasking, I do feel like that -1 is not a bad place for you to go. But again, this might only be for somebody that's really experienced with this machine. Maybe a silencer one, like where we originally were, might be a better setting for this machine with this new software. I don't know, but I've had a lot of fun running it. I really have, and it just makes me want to learn more, doesn't it, Michael?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do as far as, the final update.
Right. Don't Tread on Me says, Teach, what were you using for discrimination in version 2? I would run anywhere from 6.8 to 6.4.
Yeah.
Now, I have tried down into 5, but every time I went to 5, I did get falsing. And I'll be the first to admit it. That's why I believe that this software version is a little better at handling the iron, and we might have to run the discrimination a little bit lower. But I don't know that yet, guys. This is just me just talking off the cuff and just sort of running things through. And like I said, it's a beta version. It's going to change. Those are the types of things you can expect with a beta version. There's going to be changes, and us talking through it like tonight is a good way to see some of those changes happen. So again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys sharing some of your information with us. Yeah, Digging Dude says hit that like button. Thank you, Digging Dude. I appreciate it. Detect Meister says looking forward to see how the new coil reacts to EMI. And again, I've already done a video with EMI. I really think that we're going to see a real big increase in EMI. I think we're going to see that we're not going to have a lot
EMI reduction.
Yeah,
it's
EMI
been
reduction.
really
Right.
stable.
Yeah, not an increase in EMI, but an increase in EMI reduction. Definitely. Thank you, Michael. Greeny Meanie says, if you have the settings at stock settings on beta, was there any different from version 2 stock settings? I hadn't gone through every single program yet. So the silencer would be the one that I think you would probably see maybe some differences, but I haven't gone through them yet. So I don't want to say anything.
I think there's an increase in depth on a lot of the programs.
Well, but he's asking about the settings,
okay.
Is the silencer different? Is the discrimination different from program to program? I believe.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So Green Meanie, I don't know. And that's a great question. And I'll look at them, sort of flip through them and see if any of them have some of the different settings than what there were in version 2. And the good thing is, guys, I do have a version 2 machine right now. So I have a version 2 and a version 3. The only problem I got is that my version 2 machine has an 11-inch coil and my version 3 machine has a 9-inch coil. So I don't know how equitable those tests would be if I did with those different machines. Don't Tread on Me says, interesting. I will keep discrimination in mind tomorrow in the field. Yeah, try Don't Tread on Me. Just lower it down some and try it with the target ID turned off and see what you get. And then try it with the target ID turned on. The Ferris target ID is what I'm talking about. And see what you see, because I'm real curious. I do know that a nail running that -3 silencer will show up as an 82. So again, that's just what I saw. Dirt Devil says he was running at 6.4. Yeah, 6.4 was about to me the breaking point. But I did a discrimination test today where I can make that nail completely false, and I got all the way down to 3.5. Now, is that a product of the update? Was it a product of something else? I'm not real sure, but I did show it, and it's out there. You guys can go out and try the same test, see what you see. One thing that I noticed, and I told Michael about this too, was that when you start to run that machine or run that coil and you get up into the upper part of that coil, it tends to false at that point. But when you get towards the middle and the back, it tends to show it as iron.
Yeah.
So is it the sweet spot of that coil just by the way it's designed? Yeah, that was the other thing that I really found interesting. So I'm letting you guys know that. Try it and put a nail out there in front and turn that target ID off and lower it down in your discrimination and see if you can get a nail, and try to use a colonial nail. That's what I was using, but try to use a colonial nail and just see if you can get it to vaults up there in that upper region. It was really interesting that we saw that. Alabama Digger says, get ready to dig button shanks with new coil in the higher register. You might dig a lot of them for sure. Bell says, I wish I had it when we lived in Florida for the beach. Yeah, Bells, that would have been great. And it's coming. Should be okay with any coil. Only had to update remote and WS6 plug. Right. And the update is available. You can go on XP's site. Make sure that when you update the headphones, you use a single cable. Remember, you don't have to update the coil. It's just the remote and the headphones that have to be updated for it to work. And that will get you up and running. You go to the DS2, you select updates. You make sure that your machine is in the update mode. So go to your remote, go to the update mode, and then go to your computer, follow the instructions. When it tells you to plug in the coil, and then just it walks you through it. It's really simple. The only problem that I ever have is with the headphones, and I think Michael was dealing with some of that.
Well, that was my fault. I wasn't actually clicking on the software at the little pop-up window, and I figured that out, and it was easy after that.
Right. Digging Darrell says height of coil changes false in two. Right. If you lift the DS2 coil up, it will false.
Well, so, I didn't notice that as much with this software as I did in previous versions. I think I didn't notice that the height variance as much, as far as
right. But when I got down really close on it, Michael, it seems like it changed. And you and I have had this conversation where we've seen multi-frequency sort of behave that way, whereas the single frequencies will not. So that's why I'm real interested to see, if the HF2 coil is going to change some of that. And that's why I said earlier that I believe that we're going to see a lot more shallower targets coming out of the ground that we missed, because I think that HF2 coil is going to give us a better advantage when there's a lot of that iron that's laying at shallow depths that are masking targets. I think that's going to be the benefit of that HF2 coil, or at least that's my thinking. But again, I could be wrong. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Drummond to Texas, I dug a shoestring out in my side. Oh, I dug some
real small rivets too.
Yeah, little tiny rivets. I mean, I'm talking about these things were everywhere. My camera is going wonky tonight. It wants to. Anytime I hold my hand up, it wants to start tracking me. Dirt Devil Detect, here's a good one. He says, on the headphones, make sure, when you do the WSA2, you got to hold that minus button down for, I think it's just a few seconds, and then you hit the plus button. And it actually gives you a timer countdown now for how long you're supposed to hold it down.
Yeah, it does.
So that light comes on, which I think is great. But once that light turns white solid, then you're ready for the update, and just hook it into the computer, go to the WSA2 link in the upper tab, and then just click on that, select version 3.02 beta, and you can do it and get it hooked up. CZ Digger says on the WSA2 XLs, you have to hit the power button first, then the right button within a second. I was hitting both at the same time, could not get them to update. I haven't done my XLs yet, but I have done my WSA2s. And so you're exactly right. Drummond Detect says, I noticed when I went to the update, my headset was called a DS2 on my PC.
It does. I noticed that too.
Yeah. So there you go. That's pretty cool that they done. Yeah, and it says beta on it. And I don't know if you noticed this, but in the bottom right-hand corner, when you first turn it on, it says B 3.02. Yeah, Drummond Detect's exactly right. It was tricky for sure. But who knows what we can expect. This week's going to be crazy for me. I've got a lot of stuff going on, but I am looking forward to that HF2 coil coming soon. And we're going to run it through its paces. We're going to do what we can with it, take it out in the field. If I show a test video, I know somebody's going to probably criticize me, but I may show a couple of things just to let you guys see what I'm seeing. And then I'll take it out in the field and test it. I'd go out and hunt with it.
We got a special spot in mind for that coil, don't we, Brian?
Oh, yeah. I've got the perfect spot for that coil, and it's going to be a doozy. So if it passes in that site, it's going to be game on for sure. So we're looking forward to running that. Let's see here, Michael. Let's see what else we got. So, Michael, anything else? We're going to get off of here in just a second, but
we just wanted to tell you what we had, seen, kind of looking at the coil today and yesterday. You hunted with it, and we done some above ground, testing today, and
right,
just what we had saw and kind of shared some information.
Right, and again, guys, don't be a sheep. Do your own testing. Do your own, do your own thing. If I use it and it works for me, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. I just want to make sure I put that out there, and go out and have fun. This is a beta version software. There's going to be changes, I'm sure, and just go out and enjoy running it. See what you can find out. And if you do find something out and you want to share it with me, then you guys know the drill. Y'all know my email address, sransc@gmail.com, and share what you're seeing, because that's how we all learn, and that's how we all end up with a better product. And like somebody said earlier, that they believe that this is why XP did it this way, was so they could get the feedback from the users. And you guys have seen that with a lot of companies. And some of the companies have been torched because they released these machines. Maybe they should have put the beta tag on the front of their machines at the beginning, and maybe that would have helped with some of that. But we've seen it with all these machines. We've seen it with Nocta. We've seen it with the Manicore. We've seen
there's always going to be something.
We've seen this before over and over and over again. And some of them have been worse than others. I'll admit that. But again, it's just part of it. Go out and have fun. Use the machine you want to use. Have fun with it. And if it's a beta version, it's a beta version. Just know that there could be all kinds of changes. I mean, that's just the way it is. Let's see here. Brian Thomas says, Brian and Michael, thank you so much for taking your time tonight to give us some direction. I appreciate it, Brian. That means a lot to us. Michael and I are just two regular guys out having fun, and we love hunting with each other. We love metal detecting. We love playing around with these machines, and it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy coming on here with you guys. I appreciate a lot of you. DCM says, don't worry about the criticism. Keep on going. That's right. They can do them, and I'm going to do me. Michael knows that. We're just going to keep on doing what we're doing, and we're going to enjoy what we do. I mean, if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing it. Don't tread on me says, yes, that's right. He's right. There's 1,000 different settings on this machine that will work. Bubba Smith says, Brian, keep making videos. It's always nice to get ideas and other opinions. That's right. You guys can decide if you want to use it. If you don't want to use it, that's fine with me. It's no harm or foul to me. I'm just telling you what I run. You can go try it. If it works, that's great. I have had a few people try these settings, and they had a lot of success with them. So, go do what you want to do. If you want to run that discrim up a little bit higher, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I would probably encourage you, if you're worried about digging iron, just go ahead and run it up higher. I mean, real simple solution there. Ben Boggs says he just downloaded it onto his machine so far. 0 problems with the beta. Very good. Digging Dude says X on the sheep. Did I miss Michael's Tech Corner info? Well, I shared all the Tech Corner info. My tip of the week is that, if you're new to this machine, run the general programs first, or start with general, work your way through the programs, learn the machine, and then start worrying about the settings later on. Once you learn a program, then go and try to adjust some of the settings, set it up for the site that you're hunting, set it up for the things that you're looking for. All of those are things that can definitely help you with your detecting adventure for sure. Bell says appreciates me and Michael. Thank you so much, Bells. We do try and we have a good time, and that's what Michael and I are here to do. Yes. Gene Gilstrap says, I like to watch your hunts as I cannot get out as much as I want to. And that's why we do them, Gene. And I got like 3 hunt videos that I have not put up yet. So we're going to be getting all that stuff out real soon. Don't Tread on Me says no 2 sites are the same. So push those buttons, people. Right. But again, learn your machine. And then if you're new to it, learn it first and then mess with those settings. But Don't Tread on Me is exactly right. You're going to be pushing buttons left and right to set your machine up the way that you do. Bubba Smith says, I prefer you come down to Louisiana. We can run tests together. Well, thank you, Bubba. I appreciate that. Braden Boucher wants to know, how often do you go live like this? We are live every Friday night at 7:30.
We don't hop on here like this a whole lot, but it's scheduled.
Because we wanted to make sure that we cleared the air to make sure that we weren't trying to force anything on anybody. And I said that multiple times in the video that we weren't trying to, tell everybody how to run the machine. And this is the end all to be all. It was just what I ran the other day, and I had good success. And and then I showed what we were seeing out in the test garden. But again, it's all good. Like I said, we love being with you guys, and we enjoy it as well. So DCM says, I appreciate you guys getting on tonight and sharing the information. Right. And this was sort of impromptu, but we wanted to hear from you guys as we wanted to hear about what you guys were seeing with the software. Digging Dude says, damn, I'm in the mood for a Lego lamb now. DCM says, Michael, the other night when I went live, your icon threw me off and I brain farted. Yes. Ben Boggs says, I'm hitting my test garden as well. 57 well-aged targets. Very good, Ben Boggs. Go out there and enjoy it, buddy. Dirt Devil Tech says, that's a nice sized garden, Ben Boggs. There you go. I like this one. Drummond to Tech says, this sure beats American Idol. We're glad we can compete with American Idol. Braden Bouchard says, I downloaded 3.02 today. I think your program fast 4.0 -1. I was getting a couple of tiny wires, great signals, went to 6.8, got some hot hits on newish nails. So, and again, all of that is great information, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, whatever it may be. That's great information for everybody to put into their data bank. Of course, when you got an old data bank, sometimes that can hurt you. But I love getting information from you guys. Thank you so much, Braden, for sharing that. Ben Boggs says, every target was found detecting, repurpose them from my test. That's what I do. Yeah. And here's the thing. The nails that I find, if there's one that really caused me fits and made me dig it, that's the nail that I throw into my pouch and I bring home with me to test with. Makes sense, right? So those nails that you saw me using were nails that fooled me. That's why I have them. And that's why I used them on those tests. So for sure. Ben Boggs says, exactly. Very good. He says, I second that. Drummond Detect. Michael, so what do you think we should do for this week?
What do you mean? What are you talking about for a?
I'm just talking about and I'm going to mention this to everybody here on here as well. Guys, what would you like to see this week from 3.02 on the software? Something that I can make that might be beneficial to you, or something maybe you would like to see.
Well, it would probably be nice if you got a chance to go to the beach with it.
Oh, y'all ready for a beach video? Michael,
Yeah.
we got to go to the beach. Huh?
It would be. That would be a good test for it.
Michael, you're going to make me go to the beach.
Yeah. You're closer than I am.
Yeah? You think people would like a beach video? Guys, would y'all like to have a beach video run in version 3.02? I don't think I've seen one yet.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah. Wills Diggett says he wants to see unboxing the HF2 coil.
I hope we see that too.
Yeah, that's the video I want to see as well. So anybody that would like to see something, you can mention it now, or if you think of something that you want to see for a test, just email me. Okay, you can do that as well. sransc@gmail.com, and we'll try to get it up if it's something that we think is going to be good for everyone. Ben Boggs says, take a Merc dime, put it 8 inches deep, then put a rusty nail on top of it, only 4 inches deep. Well, I already have a Merc dime buried, so I could take the nail and put it on top and see what happens. And I've checked depth, and we didn't even mention this, Michael. So for depth, Michael, tell them what you saw today, and I'll chime in.
Fast. I think it was a great improvement in depth on fast.
Right.
I got a 12-inch quarter and probably 11-inch dime, and I could hit both of them with fast. It reactivity of 3. So
right,
that was pretty impressive. Deep high conductor, of course, it's always been pretty deep of a program. So it does a good job on those deep targets. But the increased depth and fast and sensitive and general was pretty impressive.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, I did.
So I don't have it up here. I was going to show our finds from yesterday just to show people what an awesome day it was. Brian Thomas says, yeah, awesome suggestion. Michael, a beach video would be great. Oh yeah, I can go down to the beach. I try to go during low tide. I might not hit low tide after work, but maybe I can run down there for a few minutes. I'll hop on the golf cart and we'll head down to the beach and see what we can do with this new software version, because I don't think I've seen anybody on the beach with it yet.
Right.
Dirt Devil Detecting, yeah, he says maybe we can collaborate and show our findings after a week. Well, let's do that. Of course, I've already got one hunt already under my belt. I don't know how many times I'll be able to get out though, Dirt Devil. That's the only problem, because I work, unfortunately.
But CZ Digger, that was with a 9-inch coil too.
What was that?
Yes, it was at 11 or 9-inch. It was with a 9-inch coil that I was hitting those targets.
Yeah, 9-inch is and it's deep.
Yeah,
it's deep, isn't it, Michael?
It sure is.
Right. So, and some of the targets I dug yesterday, they were really deep. And Michael saw one of them. One of them was a good. I remember I asked you, Michael. I said, "How deep do you think that is?"
It was a foot.
Yeah, it was well over a foot, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised at the depth of my small bullet, 8 inches or so. I thought it may have been a fluke. So interesting to hear you guys found more depth. Right. And again, guys, go try it out for yourselves. We're just telling you we did see some good depth out of it. And test garden, that's great. If you don't, then, do an air test and take it down, 10, 12, 13 inches, put it on a, I used to do a poster board where I would do it. And that way I could sort of tell, even with an air test, at least generally what I might get. Yeah, Dirt Devin says, I'll reach out, Brian. I have Michael's number. I should get yours and we can discuss. Yeah, sure. Again, send me an email, Dirt Devil Detecting. Share with me what you are seeing, because, again, I value you guys as well. CZ Digger, I value you too as well. I know you're very experienced. So if you want to reach out to me and share something with me, please do. I can share all of this information with XP, and that's what they're hoping I will do. I've already shared some things with them and already heard back from them too. So Savon is awesome, and he got right on it, and he said, "Yeah," he said, "I noticed exactly what you were seeing." So he's seeing some of the things that I've shown as well. Ben Boggs says, "Yeah, just waiting for my HF2 coil," and like I said, Ben, hopefully it won't be too much longer. Gene Gilstrap says, "If you go to the beach, just no Speedos, Michael."
I'm not going. You're going. So
You don't want to see me in a Speedo for sure. All right. Well, has anybody got anything else they want to ask before we get out of here tonight? Might have some giveaways and things coming for the live stream on Friday night. We'll share more information on Friday night about the HF2 coil, and we hopefully will have it by then. We also will share more information about what we're seeing out of the software update. So we'll have some more stuff that we can talk about when next or this coming Friday rolls around. But again, we're just going to keep on doing what we're doing. We love being on here with you guys. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us. Thanks for supporting the channel. Again, a lot of you know we go out there, we hunt. I hunt pretty much every weekend. I haven't really missed that many weekends. So there's a lot of digging going on, and there's a lot of learning going on every time I go and dig. Ben Boggs says Sasquatch in a Speedo. Thank you, Bubba. We appreciate you, buddy. You have a blessed week as well. Thank you so much. And again, yeah, Digging Dude, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Dirt Devil, we appreciate you. He said $3.99. That's the cost. Check out our main man, Mr. Mike Howell at LMS Metal Detecting. We'll put his information scrolling across the bottom. If you would like to get that new HF2 coil, check Mike out. He can get you on that waiting list. You don't have to make any payment or anything like that. He'll put you on the list. If you want to pay, he'll probably take that too. I don't think he'll turn down money, but you can decide. But he will add you to the list and let you know when those coils come in. So stay tuned for that. And Michael, any parting words before we get out of here?
Have a great week, guys.
Right. Braden says, "Hey, I'm glad I found this tonight. I will be tuning in from the Knox 800 to the Deus 2 has blown my mind. Deus 2 settings below Mind Lab out of the water, in my honest opinion." Very good. And we use all machines, Braden. So, if you got another machine, we've got all of the Mind Lab machines. We have a Mind Lab Manicore. We have an Equinox 900. We have an Xterra Elite. We have an Xterra Pro. We have a Mind Lab Vanquish. We've got Nocta products too. We show Nocta stuff, Nocta Legend, triple score, double score, single score. We got all of those. And we got every XP machine too. We've got the WS6 and we've got the Deus 2 as well as the Extreme Hunter. So we got a lot of stuff. Ben Boggs says coils to the soul. Everyone, thank you, Ben. Dirt Devil says talk soon, Brian and Michael. All right, Dirt Devil, we appreciate you, buddy. Hit me up with that email and let me know what's going on. Let me know what you guys are seeing. Would love to share. CZ Digger, thank you so much. Share with me what you're seeing. I would love to know that information, as I know you do a lot. I do. So I appreciate that. So if you see something, please relay it to me. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Have a great night. We will catch you guys real soon. Stay tuned for great content coming. More adventures, more tests, more HF2, more 3.02, more. There's a surprise coming too, I'm afraid. Can't talk about it yet, but it's coming. There's another surprise that's on the horizon. And I can't wait to see what that surprise is going to be. Michael knows what it is. But I'm excited, and I look forward to getting that too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. All right. Trevor Van Horn says, give us the Extreme Hunter video with the new update. Oh, that's a good idea.
That is true.
Yeah, because I have the Extreme Hunter. I could definitely do that and run it over a couple of targets and see if it's, see See what it's doing. Okay. So again, my camera's going wonky on me, Mike. Let me zoom out of here. All right. So thank you guys. Have a great weekend or great rest of your week. I'm so used to doing Friday night. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy yourselves. Get out there, find some great things. Let us know what's going on with version 3.02. You guys are going to love it. I think XP is on the right track. The HF2 coil is coming, and we're all going to have fun. That's what it's about in the ultimate scheme of things. Take care. God bless. Catch you soon. All right. See you guys.
See you guys.